If work really sucks so much, why do the most successful people love it? They know something that most people don't. Work is not a burden, it's actually a superpower. And today, I'm about to flip your mindset completely because after watching this video, you will never look at work in the same way again. If you've ever faced the Monday blues or thanked God on Friday evening that you finally get 2 days of rest, watch this video till the end because today I'm about to change the way you think about work. You see, we aren't meant to live 5 days in hell for just 2 days in heaven. Yet that's what most people do. And it really doesn't have to be that way. We have a choice to make sure that we do the work that we love, because when you look at the most successful people, what do they have in common? All of them love their work. They bring their full energy into it. And how can they do that while most people struggle? Well, that's the answer we are going to find in today's video. So stay till the end because today I'm about to completely change the way you think about work. First of all, let's understand, why do we feel afraid of work in the first place? Why do we feel like we don't have any energy when we do it? Here's the simple answer. Because we've been trained to think that way about work. Go back to your childhood. Go back to the times where you were at your family gatherings or your parents' friends were over and discussions were going on. What do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to do? Some people say, I want to be a firefighter. I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a rock star. That's what we say as children. But eventually, as we grow up, our mindset changes. We are fed into this idea that you have to choose a reasonable career. You have to choose something that pays the bills. You have to do work that makes sure that there is job security for you. We get all of these ideas. And what do they convey? Work isn't something you enjoy. It's something you do because the bills are going to keep coming month after month, and you need to be able to pay them. That's the mindset we have. And so when we look at work as something that we have to do out of compulsion, out of the way the society is structured, we don't feel excited about it. No one will. Because when you have to do something like the chores at home, you don't really feel excited. But on the other hand, when you get to do something, when you've finally been waiting to do something like going to your favorite restaurant or going to that movie you wanted to watch or going camping with your friends, you don't feel burdened, right? You don't feel the need to thank God for Friday or feel sad on Monday morning because you have to go back again. No, none of that happens because your attitude is different, your mindset is different, and that is what most people who are successful have about work. They have a totally different mindset. They're not thinking from the lens of 5 days versus 2 days. They're thinking in terms of impact. They're thinking in terms of growth and how they can get to be their best. Work then does not remain a tool that just pays their bill. Instead, it becomes the gateway to their growth, to their success, and to every single thing they want to achieve. And with that change in mindset, you become a super person. You become someone who's obsessed with what they do, who is fully focused and ready to give it their all, where those 8 hours from 9 to 5 aren't spent sulking and worrying and thinking about what you're going to eat for dinner. They are spent working on your goals, going out there with all your energy and delivering your best because you know that this is a sacred opportunity. This is the best thing that I can do for my growth, and that is powerful. And when you have this mindset shift, here's what happens. You go from someone who enters their workplace feeling sad, feeling overwhelmed, feeling confused, to someone who's excited. Now, when the first person enters, he has no idea what to do. He has no way of going about his day. He's not planned anything. And so he comes there, he sits on his desk, and then he spends the first 30 minutes in small talk, in greeting everyone around, talking about how their weekend was. Finally, at 9:30, he gets to work. He starts making out some plans, barely does anything, then goes for a snack break, then comes back and scrolls for a few minutes, then again goes for a 2 hour lunch break with his colleagues. And just like that, the whole day is wasted. Out of the 8 hours, he barely works 3-4 hours and not even focused hours. And then, when the boss complains, you're not doing this, you're not doing that, the whole environment just turns toxic. The whole environment goes astray, and you feel that, you know what, this isn't for me. I hate this place. I don't know what to do. But you do know what to do, and that is just become focused and think of work as a blessing. And when you do that, when you do the mindset shift I just talked about, you become that second person who walks into work feeling excited. He knows exactly what he wants to accomplish that day, what his goals are, the ideas that he wants to take action on, the things he wants to discuss in meetings. All of that is planned out beforehand. And so the moment he sits on his desk at 9 a.m., he's on to work. He takes a short break, he gets back to work. And just like that, out of those 8 hours, from 9 to 5, 6 to 7 hours of his time is spent in focused, dedicated work, and that is what gets the results. That is what pushes you forward. And if you're thinking, you know what, Prabhsimrat, this whole idea of loving your work and all sounds good for an entrepreneur and people like that. I'm just an employee, I'm just someone who wants to do a job. Why does this even matter to me? Well, it does. No matter who you are, whether you're an employee, a student, an intern, or even the whole boss of the whole company, you need to have this attitude toward your work because you play an important role. And the best example I have of this is Joe Girard, the world's best salesman. He has a world record to his name for being someone who sold the most cars from a single car dealership. Between 1963 and 1978, he single-handedly sold 13,001 cars from a single Chevrolet dealership in Michigan. Just imagine that one person working as a mere salesman in just one company and in just one dealership actually goes so beyond his role, so beyond his designated requirements that he ends up creating a world record. That is 866 cars per year and 2.3 cars per day. Imagine that. Most people think sales is hard. I can't sell anything. They have trouble even selling 2 toothpaste. And here's this man who sold 2 cars every single day. And how did he do that? He did that by loving his work. He went beyond the traditional salesman type of thinking. He didn't imagine that he has to, wait at the store, let the customer walk in, describe all the features to them, try to convince them with some shady techniques, and then get the deal signed and get done with it. No, he treated his customers like kings. He treated them like his best friends, and he remembered their names. He remembered their birthdays. He remembered important events in their lives. He remembered their children's names and their children's birthdays. And on every single holiday, every single festival, every single birthday, he would send out a card. This was 50 years ago, but he would not miss it. He would do everything in his ability to keep track of all the customers and make sure that he maintained a relationship with them. Now, no one asked him to do that. The maximum part of customer service on his behalf would have been serve the customer coffee, make sure they are well treated, speak to them well. But that's it. Nobody asked him to go beyond that step, to build a relationship. But he knew that's what mattered. That's what gave his work purpose, gave his work meaning. And he went ahead. He did that. And if you were one of his customers, you might not even receive a card or a greeting from your family, but you were 100% sure that you would receive a greeting from Joe. And so when the time came to buy a new car, or when the time came when a friend asked you, you know what, I'm thinking of buying a car, where should I go? Who would you be recommending? Joe, The person who spent so much time in building a relationship with you, remembering important things about your life, sending you greetings? Or just some random salesman who wants his commission and wants to get done with it? Of course, you'll send people to Joe. Of course, you'll buy from Joe, and that is the magic of going above and beyond in your work. You have to be the best at what you do. You have to deliver your ultimate best. Go above and beyond what is asked of you, because that is when you create these lasting impressions. That is when you break records. That is when you deliver your most exceptional work. And this is a trait that's built in us. This does not depend on the job you're doing or the stuff that you are working on. Even if it's a job that you don't love, you can still do it, even if it's dishwashing. Just listen to this clip from NVIDIA's founder, Jensen Huang.
And so the thing I learned is you can make up a great interview. You could even have a bad interview, but you can't run away from your past. And so have a good past. Try to have a good past. And in a lot of ways, I was serious when I said I was a good dishwasher. I was probably Denny's best dishwasher. I planned my work. I was organized. I was mise en place. And then I washed the living daylights out of the dishes. And then they promoted me to busboy. I was certain I'm the best busboy Denny's ever had. I never left the station empty-handed. I never came back empty-handed. I was very efficient. And then so anyways, eventually I became, a CEO. I'm still working on being a good CEO. But
isn't that crazy? Jensen Huang went from being a dishwasher at Denny's to being the CEO of NVIDIA, one of the biggest tech companies in the world today. But the only reason he was able to do that was because he had that work ethic in him from the very start. As he said, all of us should have a good past. All of us should make sure that whatever we do it to our best, because that's the only proof of work we have essentially. And when you have that strong work ethic, you become unstoppable. Now, how do you build that? Very simply, by using 3 mindset shifts that I'm going to talk about right now. And the first mindset shift is, what's the bigger purpose? Think about it. Because work really isn't just about paying the bills. It's about getting a chance to leave your impact on the world. It's about making someone else's day better. It's about providing solutions to people who desperately need them. And it's about making the world a better place with what you do. Now, those are amazing ideas, right? But they sound vague. They might not even impress you or motivate you, and that's fine. Because your purpose is unique to you. Your purpose matters to you. And I want you to really think about this question. What's the bigger point of all this? What's the bigger purpose? And if you can't find it, if you're really confused and you genuinely think that the only reason you're doing your work is because you need to pay the bills, you don't have any other purpose than that, then here's what I recommend you to do. Think of your purpose as being your best and delivering your best no matter what you do. Make that your purpose, and that will be a powerful mindset shift. Because when your work shifts from just a tool to an opportunity to be your best self, it changes. The way you think about it changes. The things that you do change, and it becomes a powerful force in your life. So if you find a sense of purpose, if you can really see that, great. If not, make this your purpose, being your best, and that will lead you to the change you want to see within yourself and in the world. The second mindset shift is walk in with an empowering state of mind. The way you think about yourself and about your day and about your work defines so much more than you know. Because that attitude, that idea, that perspective becomes the filter of your experience. If you are sad, if you are bored, if you don't want to do it and you have all those negative, disempowering ideas in your head, that's the lens you look at everything from. If I were to make this video and not feel excited, if before coming in front of the camera I was sitting like this, confused with a headache. God, I have to make another video now. Okay, fine, let's just get it done with. Then I wouldn't be able to deliver this level of impact. I wouldn't be able to communicate with you heart to heart. Instead, my attitude is totally different. My attitude is, wow, I get to do this. I can't wait to get started. Let's set everything up and hit the record button because this is important. See how much of a difference that creates? So make sure that you build an empowering mindset every time you go to work, or in today's case, you log on to work. Because most times we might be working from home. So even if you're not going to your workplace, you're working from home, that's fine. But create your environment and your mindset in such a way that it empowers you to work. It pushes you to work and it makes it seem like a great opportunity. Which brings me to mindset shift 3. Define your bigger goals. See, it's okay if you're working in a job that you don't like just because you have to pay the bills. That's fine. That's one of the great things to do because you're taking responsibility and being accountable for your life. And along with that, you also need to figure out what's the ultimate goal that you want to achieve. What does your heart desire for? Even if it's not the current job, that's fine. But get clear on that. Have those conversations with yourself. And if you'd like, I've also made a video on goal setting and making an action plan for those goals that you can go and check out here. So decide what it is that you really want from your life and make it a priority in some way or another. Learn about it every day. Spend a few minutes building something simple. Spend some time painting. Spend some time writing. Spend some time talking to people who are in the field that you want to enter. Because this is what it will do. It will tell your mind that, okay, this person is ready for it. This person is dedicated and committed. And so even when your current work gets tough, even on the days you don't like it, you'll still make it through with an empowering mindset because you know that at the end of the tunnel is the work you ultimately want to do. And to get there, you need to deliver your best right now. That right there is what all successful people do. They think of work as a chance to do something with the world, to be their best and to unlock their own potential. Make sure you do the same. Answer these 3 questions. Build in these 3 mindset shifts and your life and your attitude towards work will change forever. I'd love to know in the comments which one of these mindset shifts was the most powerful to you. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Do hit the subscribe button and share this video with everyone so that they can also build a new idea like this, work on it, and have better, more empowering workplaces for everyone. Do know that I'm always rooting for you and I'm here to help you. Thank you.